Catwoman #2, Joëlle Jones, both writing and doing the art. So this continues where we left off last time. She's found this room full of Catwomen who are pretending to be her. And we know this goes back to the wife of the governor, who we introduced to last issue, the one whose nose comes off and generally looks much worse than she does on public appearances.
Looks like the Crypt Keeper when she
a little bit
is in public, yeah.
A little bit. I was half expecting death and murder puns from her at one point. She was so Crypt Keeper looking. I'll admit I did have to go back and check the last issue just to remind myself who some of the other characters were. The cops specifically. When we got to the cops, I was like, okay, I remember her introducing characters, but I don't remember who they were or what their deal was at all. So I had to go back and check who the cops were, and just kind of. So one of them knew the cop who'd been gunned down by the fake Catwoman. One of them knew him, and he's the good cop who wants to know about this, and then the other guy with the goatee, he's the corrupt cop. So there we go. Just there's your background for context for this issue. So there was a lot more stuff in this issue, I thought, of Catwoman getting over the wedding. There was a lot more stuff where she can't sleep, and she's pawning in a ring, but she can't pawn in that one. That one's not for sale.
Yeah.
There was a lot more little details like that that really painted her as still trying to get over the fact that she didn't go through with the wedding, which is good because it makes you feel connected to the overall thing. So how do we feel about this issue though, Connor?
I think it has a nice flow to the first half, especially because it's basically the first half, give or take, is an action sequence.
Yeah, with all the Catwoman. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that has a nice flow to it. I think I know we actually had some critiques of the art last time with the line work being too heavy. It feels like that's been sorted out now. It feels like a lot smoother and sleeker, more what I expect.
Out of Jones.
Yeah, and some nice layout work as well with the panels and just really having some nice momentum in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of red backgrounds there to sort of accent the hits and things.
Yeah, there's a really nice one which is just her face at the top with a red background, and then all these panels below it of the fight.
Yeah.
I do like that one quite a lot.
Yeah, she seems to be setting up this guy and the old woman who owns the place she's staying at as kind of regular supporting cast as well. And they're going with that. Yeah, I enjoyed it well enough. I think the ending leaves me a little bit strange. I'm not really sure what it's like a cliffhanger, because at one point they say, "Oh, I hope she shows at this thing," and at the end it's it's the cops there with the corrupt cop, that is, and the other guy who's I think the son of the governor's wife.
Governor's son.
The governor's son, yes. The son of both. That makes sense. I don't know why I was just saying specifically her son. I mean, it could be, but no, his name's Creel.
I think it was supposed to be a bit because will she show up? And it was supposed to be more like the previous night with all the Catwoman, and they were going to jump her sort of thing. Yeah. And then it's just this party function.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. It leaves me on okay, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel that way as well.
As opposed to being excited about it, I'm just gonna okay.
Yeah, I don't know where this book's going, and that's okay, I guess, because I'll as long as Jones's art looks like this and not like the first issue, because I was ready just to drop it. I was like, oh, I gotta read Catwoman. I didn't really enjoy the first issue that much, but the stuff here, I like the supporting cast stuff, and then the stuff with the governor, I have zero idea what's going on, what the governor's wife's end game is, but the fact that she's trying to set up her son with Selena Kyle, you have to meet,
what's her motivation? What does she want to achieve? What is what's her thing? What is she? What does she do? I get that she's evil. I get that she gets her henchmen to break the hand of the Catwoman who fired the gun on the cop, but okay, so I get that she's bad, but I don't know what she's actually doing yet, which isn't necessarily a bad
she's
thing,
controlling them with drugs and stuff too, not illicit drugs, but pain stuff, because when they break the one Catwoman's hand, the imposter, they have a syringe that says this will make it all better, and it's a doctor administering it. So I don't know why all these Catwomen are being dressed up. They said it's part of an art thing, which I think is just the cover. We'll see. I'm also not a big fan of this costume that she's in, and I know why they had to do it this way to make her distinct from all the other ones, but I don't think it's well designed at all.
Oh, okay.
I've got no problem with the costume.
Yeah, it's so weird. So
What do you think is weird about it?
there's no armpits. Like that's a weird design. Like I don't know. I wasn't never a fan of the Returns costume. You know, I much like what she's been wearing with the goggles, the cat burglar version.
I get
So
that. I'm liking the lack of goggles a bit. I think seeing the eyes helps.
yeah, I mean, I just costume's not working for me. So
That's
and
fair.
I did get mixed up in the fight scenes a couple times, just because I'm so used to her in the goggles that I kept forgetting she's the one
You were
without the
following the
goggles.
wrong one. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, which I don't know if that was Jones' intent, but
No, I think that's more just you're attuned to
Yeah.
look for the goggle one, and you're
right,
thinking that's your Catwoman, and then oh, hang on, wrong one.
Yeah.
right. So, but yeah, I'm gonna probably hang in until the end of this arc, just because I want to know what's going on with the governor. But I'm not. It's not a book that excites me like I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, I have to
do
admit,
like Jones enough.
yeah, I like Jones a lot, and I have to admit, it's not like as exciting to me, like in the pile as I thought it was going to be. Like,
It's a little
Yeah.
underwhelming, isn't it?
yeah, it's just fine. It's a pretty decent read, but it's definitely not one that I was rushing to before a lot of the other books this week. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where it's sitting for me right now.
Yeah.
Also, I love the idea of like Catwoman making a statement and like letting her armpits let the hair grow out because she's got these windows and just have like tufts of hair.
I don't think the windows are that high up. I think it's a bit lower down. It's more like top of the ribs, right? It's
Sure.
more
Even
just so you
then,
can
I
stretch
don't-
your arm up and down without the material restricting.
I mean,
I mean,
don't-
that's why
I
that's
don't-
why I hate sleeves. So I understand it, but
yeah. I don't dislike the costume. But I definitely prefer the goggles look and some of the looks that I do this one.
Well, I like the purple costume
Yeah.
a lot,
I like
from
purple
from the
costume, yeah.
'90s. That one's pretty solid.
That's probably my
So
favorite.
yeah,
Joe, actually, I think my least favorite part of this one is actually the gloves. I hate the gloves that only stop right at the wrists. They feel too short.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
can't argue with that.
I always like the interpretation of her. She's a cat burglar, and that's like she loves cats and whatnot, and that's why she's Catwoman. But the cat burglar is what informs her, So
mean-
so when you just dress her in leather like a dominatrix outfit, I don't know.
I think my problem with the gloves as well, actually, is that it makes the sleeves feel really noticeable. And if there's one thing that feels weird to me in a superhero outfit, is the idea of sleeves that are actually dangling and like actually.
Yeah,
It feels too casual, I guess, is what I'm saying.
yeah.
I mean, the sleeves are still pretty tight, though, aren't they?
Mhm.
So I don't
Well-
think they are dangling that much.
Well, they're not dangling, but they feel at the end of a shirt as opposed to the
They've got a
end
bit of a cuff on them, yeah.
A
Yeah.
form-fitting.
Yeah. Whereas I typically think of like superheroes and villains having like, like
A
more
bodysuit.
more regimented like tight fits because they're uniforms as opposed to. And I get that
Yeah.
Catwoman's not really a uniform because she's Catwoman and she's not like a serious hero in the same sense that the other characters
Yeah.
are. But that's kind of why I don't hate the Batgirl outfit from the Burnside stuff, but like I still prefer it when it looks more of an outfit and less like a jacket, just because
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
it's just a preference. I don't really have any great,
Mhm.
statement to
Yeah.
make on the subject. But we should rate the book then. Catwoman issue 2. What we giving it? Connor,
A slight step up from the last issue, so I give it a 7.
Matt.
I too gave it a 7.
I shall also give it a 7. I don't remember what I gave the last issue though.
Jackpot.